Akon, can you tell us a little bit about what inspired you to start Akon Lighting Africa?
Absolutely. Ultimately, it started with me just wanting to electrify my own neighborhood. You know, I was raised in Senegal, in Dakar, a small city, small village. And when I left and came to the US, pretty much I was one of those kids that just played in the sand, barefooted, nappy-headed kid, no electricity, no clean water. But it was one of those life necessities that you just enjoyed because you didn't know nothing better existed, you know? So when I moved to the States, clearly it was a complete culture difference.
Culture shock.
Clearly, it was more of a shock. I was like, wow, it's like the Jetsons, you know what I mean? Big, you know, high-rise buildings, cars zooming, vzoo, electricity everywhere, clean water out the faucet, you know what I mean? Like, this is what you would pay for, you get it for free, you know? It was one of those things, but then I got so accustomed to it, so every time I used to go back home, I would be missing so much because I had experienced what I didn't have before. So I used to always make this pledge that one day I'm gonna come back and focus on figuring out how to build infrastructure in Africa. And of course, to begin building infrastructure, you can't not do it without energy. Yeah.
Very true. It's hard to imagine not having access to electricity.
Oh, especially when you was raised with it. This is like a luxury for me right now.
Yeah, here we don't quite understand that as fully as you do. Can you tell me a little bit about the journey you've gone through since you started, since this was an idea, and how it came to fruition?
Yeah, it was actually a journey because coming into it, I wasn't quite sure how to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. Back in 2010, I ran into some partners who I seeked that was in an energy business per se, and then the goal was to build some power plants throughout Africa, and I realized how crazy this was. And I didn't know too much about energy, so I was like, man, this might be a little bit much. Then I started to realize all the pushbacks and challenges I would have to face. So I said, let me just focus on the rural areas because actually that's where it's needed the most. And that's when I got into the whole solar idea. So I pulled my partners in, Sean, who introduced me to Samba, and together we came with a real scheme to really pull some real resources to build solar panels, solar systems, home systems, street lights, all for the rural areas, and just be a part of the process.
What's so important about it is also initiated by the children of Africa, from Akon to Samba Bacheli to myself.
As an African, I always wanted to be in a position where I can come back and give back and be able to use my celebrity, use my success in a way where I can help people.
Et nous vous renforçons et nous vous appuyons. Voilà. Merci beaucoup.
Et l'engouement est le même, que ce soit au niveau du partenariat public-privé qu'on met avec les États et que ce soit aussi au niveau de la population.
The Akon Lighting Africa team has already installed in 11 countries and counting 2 types of solar panels designed to meet the needs of populations. Solar streetlights for public lighting and a home service system that is prepaid for household use. First, the benefits of public lighting, which are numerous. Women can now sell their products at night without feeling threatened.
How long has it taken you from when you first began your journey, and how much have you accomplished so far?
Oh man, from the moment that we decided, okay, solar is the initiative, it's been since 2013. The original initiative was to light up 1 million homes in a year. And I mean, because of the demand, we actually was able to exceed that. You know, we ended up being, now we're currently in 16 countries, wow, you know, in like 2.5, 3 years. So we accomplished more than a lot of major energy companies in 10, 15 years, in less than 3 years, you know. So we're definitely moving at lightning speed, but we're also involving the community. Like, the locals are actually a part of what we're doing. We also built a Selectra University, which is more like an academy that will bring in all the locals or anyone who wants to learn more about renewable energies. We train them, you know, training skilled workers, technicians, just kind of bringing them in so that way they could be trained to not only install but also maintain the equipment on the grounds as we build these contracts as well.
So is that just for anyone that's interested? If they want to, they can come in and learn?
No, yeah, absolutely. It's a wide open academy for that. We have specific scholarships that we actually give out to honor students that actually are in the energy or renewable energy space to kind of fast forward the knowledge, because we're trying to train trainers who can then we can ship out to train the locals in those multiple areas.
Yeah, so you're not just Lighting Africa, you're also opening jobs and more opportunities to the people there.
That's the key. I mean, the key is to empower the people, because when they're empowered, things can happen faster. They're in a position to do more, and the confidence level raises to a point to where they feel like something needs to be done, so then they can give us a helping hand, because this is a collective effort. Like, I don't think no one company or one solution is going to fix the problem in Africa. It has to be a collective effort.
So besides this, I also saw that you have a confidence foundation for underprivileged children. So that's another way you're able to help people in Africa, correct?
Yeah, confidence is based more on the educational system, which my mom actually runs.
So do those tie together at all, since this is educational?
The foundation actually ties from a different sector, because ultimately what we're doing with Akon Lighting Africa is for-profit. So I can't really mix for-profit and profit together, clearly, because Selectra's still an American-owned company, you know? So we don't mix the foundations together, but we do, recruit kids from those rural areas that were active to be a part of what we're doing with Akon Lighting.
Okay, so is there one university, or how easy can the people access it?
Yeah, currently it's only one. Our first academy is built in Mali, which is in West Africa, next door to Guinea-Conakry. And ultimately, we have over 200 students as a start.
What are the age ranges?
Oh, no, age ranges from 18 to whatever. I mean, the idea is just, you gotta just be in it, because the thing is, in Africa, it's majority all youth there. 65% of Africa is all youth, so our main focus is the youth. The majority of them is youth. I don't think we have anyone there over there. Everyone is very young and very smart, skilled guys. A lot of them might have did some, courses even in the States and came back home. A lot of those guys are actually honor roll students within their own communities, because we flew kids in from Morocco, from Ghana, from Guinea, from Nigeria, from Senegal, all parts of Africa to be a part, And then there's, of course, local Malians who actually enroll as well.
Is there a number you can put to how many people you think you're providing jobs for, or, lining up, or helping them find jobs at least?
Well, I think the way is, because those numbers will differently vary as you go, but the idea is to, employ as many people as we possibly can. And I think every, situation is going to employ people. We're currently almost at 5,000 people that works or affiliated to what we're doing with Akon Lighting Africa.
And in just a couple years then since the school, or?
Oh, yes, the school we just launched this year.
Oh, so
we just launched the school this year, so this is like the beginning of huge, and eventually we want to, the academy will branch out through all the countries that we're in. We're looking for partners now.
So what's your timeline, and what do you see coming in the next year, 2 years, 5 years?
Well, our timeline is ASAP. At the end of the day, this is the long-term goal. This is nothing that you can accomplish in 5, 10, 15, because ultimately it's going to continue. Like even now, when you look at fully developing countries, we're fully developed, but yet we're still moving on to whatever the next energy source is, because climate change is now the issue. So now they're converting everything that they're doing now into renewable energy. So I don't think energy is ever going to be a position where it just stops growing. You can say the development of it, though, we want to do everything within the next, before 10 years, for sure.
And is there any way that people can help with this or contribute in any way? Volunteer or anything in a small form?
Ultimately, we're just looking for skilled workers, people that picks up pretty quick, that wants to learn more about it, that wants to be a part of the growth, and eventually we'll train them, eventually hire them, and they will. I mean, this is a career. Yes. Like, we're trying to really, harness the talent and the resources that can really help grow the business and also grow themselves.
How would you inspire our younger generation to bring change to the world the way you have?
I'm hoping that my actions will inspire them, because a lot of times you get to a position where you are blessed to have celebrity and be in a position where you have access to so many people, right? Mm-hmm. And majority of the people that I knew growing up, or people that I might have followed growing up, you hear a lot of things about what they do, but you will rarely ever see it. You hear about it, so you start to wonder, is it all for publicity? Are they marketing themselves for the next project? And I don't want to be one of those guys. I really want to do something that really was something that I felt and had the passion for, that felt that was needed to be done, but something that would also help to create my legacy as well too. So I think the best way is to just know what that is, and fulfill it. Like, you have to really execute it and do it from the heart and let it be sincere when it's done.
Well, that's very inspiring, all of it. It's very much a pleasure to meet you and be able to discuss all of this. I look forward to seeing where Akon Lighting Africa goes.